The twin warrior maidens trapped me against the wall and whispered, "Tonight, you belong between us." The battlefield of Veronine had been silent for 3 days, but silence in the ruins never meant safety. Ash floated in the air like snow, settling on blackened stone and the skeletal frames of starships that had fallen from orbit. What had once been a thriving colony was now rubble, a price paid in fire when the Dominion and the Coalition clashed here. And in the ruins walked Jace Marrow, a mechanic and survivor, one of the few humans who hadn't evacuated before the fighting began. He had stayed behind, stubborn as always, patching up refugee transports until the very last one left. That stubbornness had nearly killed him when the fleets rained destruction, but by some twist of fate, he was still breathing. Now, he scavenged parts among the wrecks to keep himself alive. Water filtration units, food packs, anything he could salvage. But it wasn't just scavengers that haunted Veronine. Rumors spread of warrior maidens, alien twins, daughters of a lost house, who hunted survivors not to kill them, but to claim them. Jace had laughed off the tales, until he saw them. They appeared out of the smoke one evening as he dug through the husk of a shuttle. Tall, lithe, armored in crimson and bronze that shimmered with alien runes. Their hair flowed like rivers of ink, their eyes burned like twin embers. Perfect mirrors of one another, moving with uncanny grace. The warrior sisters. He froze, spanner still in hand. "You," one said, voice smooth yet edged with command. "The last human," the other added, circling him like a predator. Jace swallowed, just passing through. But the sisters didn't attack. They exchanged a glance, as though speaking without words, and then closed in. He backed into the wall of the wreck, heart pounding. Their shadows fell over him, their presence overwhelming. And then, as one, they leaned close, so close he could feel their heat even through their armor, and whispered, "Tonight, you belong between us." Beginning the claim. Jace thought he'd imagined it. Surely no one spoke like that, not in the middle of a dead war zone. But their eyes were dead serious, glowing faintly in the dusk. I think you've got the wrong guy," he stammered. "No mistake," said the first. "We watched you on the field. You fixed machines under fire. You endured when others fled. Strength of hand, strength of heart." The second sister touched the scar on his jaw, tracing it lightly. "And strength of survival. That is rare." Jace fought the urge to step back. "And what do you want with me?" They shared another silent glance before answering together. A companion. It didn't sound like a request. But instead of dragging him off by force, they simply turned and began walking, one glancing over her shoulder expectantly. Against every instinct, Jace followed. Part of it was fear. 2 alien warriors could tear him apart. But another part, curiosity. Middle, the sisters' oath. Their camp lay in the hollow of a broken dreadnought. Fires glowed in carved-out chambers, weapons hung neatly along the walls, and strange sigils marked the steel. They lived like nomads, but with a discipline that screamed of warrior culture. Over the days that followed, Jace learned their names. Lyra and Selene. They were daughters of the House of Kael'thar, once noble, now shattered in the endless wars. Exiled, they had become mercenaries, twin blades bound by an oath only they understood. They fed him, clothed him in spare gear, even repaired the filter mask he'd been nursing. In return, he fixed their tech. Plasma rifles, armor seals, grav packs, machines bent under their fierce use, but under Jace's hands, they hummed again. Yet the strange tension never left. The way they watched him, always close, always in tandem. One spoke while the other studied his reaction. They moved like extensions of each other, And more than once he woke in the night to find both gazes on him, as though guarding or claiming him. One evening, as he finished sealing a power cell, Lyra sat beside him. "You do not kneel," she said quietly. He blinked. "Why would I? Others beg. Others fear. You repair, you resist. That is why we chose you." Chosen. The word lingered. Celine entered then, tossing a ration pack into his lap. She smirked. "Eat. You'll need your strength." "For what?" he asked cautiously. They exchanged that silent glance again, the one that set his nerves alight. "For tonight," Celine murmured. "Middle, the war returns." The fragile cocoon of their strained alliance shattered when the sky once again roared with fire. Coalition scouts had returned to Veronine, hunting remnants of Dominion loyalists. When they found the sisters' camp, they attacked without hesitation. Lyra and Celine fought like storms, blades flashing arcs of light, rifles spitting fire. But there were too many. Jace scrambled into the wreckage, rerouting power cells into improvised turrets, rigging charges from scavenged coils. "Jace!" Lyra shouted as a plasma bolt shattered her shield. He didn't think. He dove forward, slamming a coupler into her armor's failing chest plate. The systems roared back to life, and she surged up with a cry of fury, cutting down their attackers. Celine fought back-to-back with her sister, and together they broke the ambush. The ground smoked with the corpses of their enemies. When silence fell, Lyra turned to him, chest heaving, armor sparking where his hands had just been. "You risked your life for us." Jace wiped ash from his face. Seemed like the thing to do. Celine's smirk softened into something like awe. "He belongs." Ending between two flames. That night, in the hollow of the dreadnought, the air thrummed with unspoken weight. Jace sat sharpening a blade he barely knew how to wield, hands trembling not from fear, but from everything left unsaid. Lyra approached first, kneeling before him. Her hand touched his scar again, lingering. "You fixed more than machines today," she whispered. Celine joined her, eyes fierce yet vulnerable. "You fixed us." Two broken blades, now sharp again, and sharpest when bound to you. Jace's breath caught as they leaned close, their mirrored faces lit by firelight. Their words echoed the first night, but now heavy with meaning. "Tonight, you belong between us." And this time he didn't argue, not as a prisoner, not as a toy, but as the man who had earned the trust and hearts of two warrior maidens who had never bowed to anyone. The galaxy beyond still burned with war, but in the wreckage of Veronine, Jace had found something worth surviving for.